Yes. Good morning. Good morning, everyone, especially those out there who are watching at this moment. And together with us here in Archdiocese Social Communication Studio, for the first time in history, we have two guests, very, very important guests. I think you will love it to hear them about their experience regarding our late Pope Francis. And here with us, Tan Sri Bernard Dompok. Yeah, you will listen more about him, about his experience meeting with three popes, but especially Pope Francis. And also we have, of course, it's not our guest, it's our shepherd of the Archdiocese, Archbishop John Wong. So here we are. We are supposed to be this what we call live streaming to be done last week, but a lot of things happen in our Archdiocese. But we thank God. Every day is a beautiful day. It's God's given day. So for start, I would like to ask, especially Tan Sri, he was ambassador for Malaysia. We don't know what year, but I think better for him to introduce himself and what he did when he was in Rome during Pope Francis, or yeah, even before Pope Francis, I think. So Tan Sri, as a former ambassador to Vatican, was there memorable moments of you with Pope Francis, or with maybe you share about your experience with the three popes, because you were there, especially with Pope Francis during your time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for having me in this program. I think I would like to start with the moment I presented my credentials to the Holy Father, which is the 9th of June in 2016.
Oh, same.
And it was a very memorable day because I brought my entire brood of children and grandchildren to the Vatican.
The whole family?
The whole family.
Wow. Wow.
And that was a memorable one because I had a lot of discussion with the Holy Father, but I think he got really alive when towards the end he said, okay, because I told him I brought my family. I said, oh yeah. How big is your family? So I said, I came with my wife and 9 grandchildren and 5 children. So at that time it was 9. Later on it became a bit more than that.
Yes.
As the 2 years went ahead. So, he said, that's a big family.
Yeah.
So I said, yes, Holy Father, I'm a good Catholic. And he burst into laughter. So that was the time when I said, yeah, it is true that the Pope has a good sense of humor.
Okay.
And so the conversation went on very nicely. And when you see the children coming in, he was saying, Bambini!
Bambini.
Like, bring the children to me. So then I was reminded that, okay, that is probably why the Pope had that amount of devotion to the Virgin Mary, because he's a mother, and the children are there. So I thought that probably was the significant part of that encounter. So that was my first encounter with him. But of course, I've met him even before that because I represented the country during his first Mass, I think, when he became the Pope. So that was the second time that I saw him then, really, and be able to talk to him person to person was when I presented my credentials to him. So that was my first encounter. Of course, I've met the other 2 popes, the saint, and I just communicating you say that yes, I've actually met a saint, and so in fact I met the Pope John Paul, I think about three or four times over the years coming into Rome. first as a minister in the state cabinet, and then as a federal minister. So I didn't meet him. Then of course I met Pope Benedict then, when I accompanied the Prime Minister then, Najib, to talk about the diplomatic ties to the Vatican and to formalize it. And so that was the occasion. But of course, the more remarkable one, of course, is Pope Francis, because I then was able to stay in the Vatican for two years and 2 months, and therefore the interaction was definitely more, because there are a lot of new things happening during those 2 years.
Yes, does Pope Francis speak English, or how do you communicate?
He speaks English, but I think they want to be safe, so there's always a translator.
Yes,
but he understands. I think he has learned English, but he probably, I understand that he learned his English in Ireland.
Ireland, yes.
So there's perhaps a certain amount of he since he started learning in Ireland, perhaps he doesn't quite utilize the language as much.
Yes, because usually Pope, I seldom heard him speaking English, only 1 word, 2 words, but you experience him talking to you in English. Yeah.
Oh yes, he speaks English.
Yeah.
He speaks English.
What about, you know, how, as ambassadors, what is your duty actually? Because as a Malaysian ambassadors for the first time, people want to know what is your duty.
I know. Yeah. That really was the thing that I wanted to do, to set, to draw up the charter for ambassadors to come in the future. But I assigned it to the second half of my stay there, but fortunately things took a turn and I was not able to continue my stay in the Vatican. But it's a very, what would I say? The position of ambassador to the Vatican, it's something that is not the normal job that an ambassador does. First of all, there's no trade between the Vatican. I think only a few books imported to Malaysia. So I think if there was a trade war and then all the tariffs come in, there would not be any problem with dealing with the Vatican. But what I thought was important was that Rome is a listening post for anybody coming out as an ambassador, because that's where you hear things, that's where interaction. So during my stay there, I interacted with a lot of ambassadors, and I could see what is going on. And the first thing that I went into session with was with the what do you call the head of the diplomatic corps, diplomatic committee in the Vatican, and in Vatican City, yeah. So all the resident ambassadors to the Holy See are there, and then I had a chance to go and talk firstly to the head of that, and we had a long conversation, and I began to know what is the difference between a conservative, progressive pope, and all the accompanying talks and perhaps even disagreements on this. You see, so I began to be able to see how many people are sort of in line with the Pope, I mean, in agreement with the conservative views or whatever, and then how many were more progressive. So, and I think for Pope Francis, this has been the central theme, and I think he has led the Church in a way that is in full conformity with the aspirations of the Second Vatican Council, in which they're going for modernity and all this, and he did a very, 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 very good job, I think, today. And today is a testimony of the good work he has done. A lot of the cardinals that he has appointed are from the fringes of of the world, and I think it has paid attention to the church as a global religious community.
Yes.
I think that.
Okay, during your time there, so how do you communicate? How do you communicate with the ambassadors, because they are coming from all over the world? So are they using Italian, French, or Spanish, or English?
It is still English.
It's all English. Oh, that's good.
It's still English, but you're supposed to. I mean, you can't. If you go and visit the Vatican, you can't avoid having to know Italian. But
Yes.
I didn't have a chance really to know Italian. I mean, I had a chance, but I found it very difficult.
Only mangiare.
So I couldn't go beyond the buongiorno, mangiare, and
The basic word, like the
vino
most important.
rosso.
Vino rosso. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's good.
but you see, the language, the international language of the world is English and communication, and of course they are translators.
Yes, sure.
And so that was it. So I participated in a lot of inter-religious dialogues from all over the world. So I've got very good tales about this, which I
Yeah, that's
probably
good,
would
because
like
Pope Francis promoting dialogue, with other religion, with other, leaders. So when you were there, do you have how many times you meet Pope Francis personally, like to share with like that?
Well, definitely once when I was presenting my credentials
Yes,
to him, and there was a lot of sharing, and sharing about what is going on in Malaysia, sharing about what I was doing and all this, and because I'm able to relate to him the work I do on education and all this. But really, the diplomatic community in the Holy See are able to perhaps go beyond their work as just in the Holy See, but because they'll be able to report on what the ambassadors think about things in the country, things about the world and all this. You see, so it is to me a very good listening post for the country.
That's good. Yeah. That's good, Tan Sri. A lot of things you learn within 2 years. 2 years it's a long way to go to, So that's when what about the security when you were there? Is it okay?
Security?
You're staying in the compound of the Vatican?
Oh,
or?
no. The Vatican City, Vatican City, I would say would be the Putrajaya of world Catholicism.
Yes.
That is why you become the ambassador to the Holy See. The Holy See is the body for the whole of Catholicism throughout the world, and it's centered there. So it's only about slightly more than 100 acres, and there's not space, not even space for all the people working in the Vatican to stay. So all the ambassadors are staying outside. They're staying in Rome, and they, of course, it's close proximity. So when I was there, I chose an embassy. I saw the site that a property that belongs to the Vatican, and renovated it, and it was Via della Conciliazione, and it's just on the mouth of the opening to the Vatican, to St. Peter's Square. So that was a very good site, and I think the diplomatic community do have regular meetings, in the sense that if you wanted to go into interreligious dialogues, and it is there. So I had that particular one, which I probably like to share. I went into interreligious dialogues. We just attended, not just by the ambassadors, but also representatives from other countries. The Muslim countries, Christian countries, and all this. So there's one particular one in which the ambassadors from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Malaysia, not Malaysia, Indonesia. I was from Malaysia. I mean, I came as a Malaysian. Indonesia. No. So the first thing that they come in, the Indonesians come in, is they will come and said, I'm from Indonesia. My country is a country that has a multi-racial setup and population. There's so many races, so many languages spoken in this country. So they said the preamble of our constitution is Pancasila.
Yeah, Pancasila.
And that is a guideline. That's a guideline of our people. So he went on a talk. So after the talk, somebody comes and asks from the audience. I think he's from Pakistan or Bangladesh. And he asked, "Madam," he said, "in your country, why is it that you are allowed to marry an Arab, whereas in my country, we're not allowed?" He said, "The Islam that you practice in Indonesia." So he said, so the lady said, "Sir, that is your culture. It is not religion. It is culture." So it brings a lot of points to my head, and then I keep on look at it again. And then I visited some other institutions, and I get some very positive views. Perhaps we do a sharing for another time.
Yes, that's good. Yeah. Before that, back to Pope Francis. So you met him before, and you heard him, and you also watched him all over. So as a Christian, how do you experience him personally? Does he impact your life, or what you learned from him? Yeah.
I think what I learned from my session there and interaction of him is that he has set the tone for marching forward. That for the Catholic Church, the train has left the station from the Second Vatican Council. And now we are moving into modernity.
Yes.
So they get to appreciate there's been change in the world, and we have to move along with it. And I think, I don't think there's any more turning back. And the selection of Pope Leo to be the Pope, I think does seem to confirm that that is the way forward now for Catholicism. And from therefore, I think, to my mind, then we'll have to practice along with that.
Yes.
I mean, I of course like some of the aspects of the Second Vatican Council. I like to listen to Tridentine Mass.
Yes.
As a boy in Penampang, I had occasion to still listen to. I mean, they're not having a Tridentine Mass, but they are singing the Credo in church and all this. And to this day, and in fact, when I first visit to St. Peter's Square to the Basilica, I was sitting there singing up. I think I've heard this when I was in the primary school, and so it gives you that feel of a nostalgic moment in those days. But the Pope has reminded me that it's moving forward, because with all these modern things now, you can't but appreciate that the Church needs to grow in an environment which is present today. And I think this is the way forward, and that's what I feel, and I think all of us will have to move along and see how it happens, and how all these other differences can be addressed. I mean, the Church is in communication with all the other denominations and in ecumenism. So there's no reason why there cannot be an ecumenism within the Catholic Church itself to accommodate those who are going for a pre-Vatican second Catholicism. So it's on now. So I think that would be the message for me in my mind.
Yeah, thank you, Tan Sri, for your sharing, and I was touched by your sharing, especially your experience in Rome as ambassadors. That I think that is the beauty of Catholic Church. That is the beauty of the Catholic Church. We have so many traditions, and also we have documents, especially the Vatican Council too. It will help not only our church but our young generations to know that Catholic Church a lot of things to offer for the world, especially regarding faith and doctrinal. Yeah. Okay. So now after this, I will ask again, Tan Sri. Now let's go to our Archbishop. He was quite busy, but at least it's time for us today.
Yes, good morning everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Selamat pagi.
Yeah, kopi bosian, kopi senangan. Yeah. So Bishop, I think you heard about our Tan Sri experience with the Pope Francis. I think you also met him personally when you received your pallium, I think.
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
See, you mentioned about that.
Yeah.
That was my first meeting with him, so-called personally.
Okay.
Of course, I met him from far. Of course, when I was in Rome. But this one is met him personally when I was there to receive my pallium in the year 2013. Just June, celebrating the feast of St. Peter and Paul. I remember my first meeting with him just before the Mass began. All those archbishops was supposed to receive the pallium. We were lined up, preparing ourselves just before the Mass. Suddenly he came in to greet one by one. We have a short moment with each one of us. So when he came to me, I was expecting to come past. So I was thinking, what am I going to say to him? So it really come to my mind, the sense I remember before I went over, our Carmelite nuns were asking me to convey the message that they will always pray for Pope Francis. So immediately I said, we love you, we will always pray for you. You know, he was so humble. He said, "Yes, I need that." He said, I was really being touched by that because even though he is such a high person, he said, "I need that." But he speaks English. Yes. That was my first encounter. I find that he is a very down-to-earth, very human Pope in a sense. I like that encounter. Until now, I still remember.
You feel at home meeting him, or you feel a bit stranger?
But I feel very easy with him because he's also very easy with us. He came in to greet one by one, not as a group. He went and greet one to the others.
That was in the Vatican.
Yeah, He is in the Vatican Basilica before the Mass begin.
Before the Mass begin.
Before the Mass begin.
That time, how many of you received?
I think it's about 20 over Archbishop. Newly installed Archbishop.
New installed. So they call your name one by one?
One by one. Before they will announce the name from where before the Mass begin.
Does he pronounce your word correctly?
I think so. Of course, I hear the voice. I didn't really listen. I hear a lot of people clapping, and then the moment the names are being mentioned.
I say that's good because some popes they can pronounce the word, Chinese word and all this.
Oh no, the name is pronounced by the commentator.
Commentator, not by him. I say okay. So you met him only for that
few short moment, personally. Yes.
But as a whole, you as a Archbishop, you see we receive a lot of direction from Rome and all this. As a person, as a bishop and also as a Christian, on behalf of others, how do you find his leadership?
Pope Francis, Pope Francis.
Yeah.
I think he's always constantly moving forward. He's also very in touch with the reality. Even the document, the concern that he has, I think is in dire need to transform the whole society, be it inside the church as well as outside the church. I find he is very, very far-thinking, a person full of wisdom, and concern also to what is going on around the world, inside the church, also outside the church. That's really inspired me.
Because during the conclave last time after Pope Benedict resigned, so looking for the new Pope. In fact, Pope Francis was not in the limelight. He was so very, nobody knows him. Yeah, but
that's why I believe God knows who to choose.
Yes, that's why.
God knows who to choose. I think a lot of people, he has transformed the world, especially transformed the church. I think a lot of Catholics really love him.
Yes, not only Catholics but the whole world, even other religion like Buddhists, even the Muslim in Indonesia and other religion, because they started the dialogue, but dialogue is so important, yeah, and also listening church. So, were you there during the funeral?
Oh no.
You're not invited. No,
Yeah. Because at that time was we was quite busy here. That's why I wasn't there.
Easter. So, like Tan Sri and Your Grace, do you expect him to die during Easter?
I did.
You did?
I didn't, frankly. I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought, because I was watching the television programs where he's in, and I saw him talking to the Vice President of the United States, and he was not well. And I think that he may have a problem in the next few months or so. You know, but at that moment I didn't think he was going. I expected at least another month, 2, 3, you know, but not on Easter.
Yeah.
But I think he is probably very happy to go back to the house of the Father, they say.
Yeah. So what about your Bishop?
I joined what Tan Sri had thinking of. I don't expect he will pass away so soon, because on the Easter Sunday he still at least come out to greet the people.
Especially the last Holy Thursday, washing of the feet.
He visited the prison.
It was, and it's quite sick already, lah.
Quite sick already, but he still managed to appear in the sense. That's why I didn't expect that he will pass away on the Easter Monday.
But he is a pope of the people. He likes interaction. He likes to share space with people.
Yes.
And this is one reason why, even outside Christianity, outside Catholicism, yes, outside Christianity, yes, there are people are still following all his pronouncements and world peace and all this, and the care for the climate and all this. So, but in fact, you know, a lot of professors go to the Vatican to talk about climate change. Professor Jeffrey Sachs and will be there most of the time. Not that he is always saying the right thing in as far as Christianity is concerned, but he is concerned with the environment, gels with the concern of the papacy, and so he attracts a lot of attention for people all over the world.
His mind, his words is quite prophetic, they said, you know, like climate change and all this. That's why he wrote a letter, one of the movie, the letter, you know, about the ecology. That was quite good, yeah.
He has an encyclical
Laudato Si.
Yeah. And a large part of that is on the climate change.
This year will be the 10 years Laudato Si. So there will be a celebration to thank for that this September, October, yeah. So Bishop, what is an impact for you? You know, with the Pope, Pope Francis, he has led the church go forward. So as a bishop, what is impact on you on his leadership?
Of course, there are a lot of things that are inspired by him. Especially 2 things are very clear that I'm trying to learn from him. He keep on emphasizing we should listen. Listen, not only listening from the ears, listen from the heart, from the ground, the voice, the cry of the people. That's why even in the the synod, he want to listen to the whole entire church, not only those in the hierarchy, even from the grassroots. He encouraged us to listen to one another. And second things that inspired me, he also talking about extend the tent, be inclusive. Everybody is welcome into the church. Everybody, nobody is excluded. Be it you are the rich, you are the poor, you are the educated, uneducated. I think he is not only saying it, he himself living it up. They really inspire me a lot. I hope not only a Catholic, even non-Catholic also be inspired by him when he talk about other topic that concerning the world.
Leadership by example, and also turun padang, is like he went to Indonesia. That was I think that is the greatest trip that he ever done in Asia. That impacted a lot of people. That's why when he left Indonesia, so many people following Christ. after that.
Yes, yes, certainly. I mean, I was also watching that,
Yeah.
and I was half expecting him to cross the road from the church to the mosque across
Yes.
the road. You know, there's an underground
That's there. Yeah.
passage,
Yeah.
and I was half expecting him to use that, and I was in touch with his translator. Reverend Marcus Solo, I think,
Yes,
Indonesian priest that I knew well. So I said, why don't you get the Holy Father to cross that road, and that in the future will become a pilgrimage site.
Yes, the tunnel.
You know?
Yeah.
But yes, I don't know how we can do that because he has to be pushed in a
Wheelchair.
in a wheelchair. So I think it didn't happen, but I think he did visit.
Yes, that's right. So he has changed even the mentality of a lot of leaders lah. The way he leads the Catholic Church, you know, and also the people. Yeah. So now, in fact, the world, like even Trump, you know, one of his words say, we lost the voice, because the voice that the Pope bring to the world is really full of love, the voice of the Pope, because he's talking about dialogue, he's talking about listening, he's talking about inclusive, he's talking about climate change, Laudato Si, about ecology and all this. I mean, our second home, the world is our second home, he said. So that's why for me, personally, as a priest, I also inspired by him, the way he expressed himself, the way he leads the people, like he want all the priests as a shepherd to smell like a sheep, you know. That means you be with the people. I want the church that goes out. That is really, you know, for me as a person, as a priest, touch me lah. I mean, the way he leads the church. But something is not negative or what negative, but his program always unpredictable. When you bring him like to other place, he can turn the other way. So that is the only that is the Pope branches lah. He give a lot of problem with the security, because you know sometimes he, you know, not in the program, he went to the other way around. Yeah, that is the only thing lah. But it's good because at least he go down to the people. Yeah.
I thought you were mentioning earlier on about Donald Trump, is it?
Yeah.
He lost to him in the voice.
He lost a voice. The world lost a voice.
The Lord lost a voice.
Oh, he said the world lost a voice.
Yeah, the world lost a voice of this talking about speaking about justice, love, mercy. So at least he was touched by Pope. That word lah, the word of Pope. That is what I in the media when Pope dies. He said, we lost the voice that give bring peace and love, he said.
But I would say, yes, indeed, we have lost of voice.
Yeah.
Of course, Pope Francis, really, of course, usually Pope, we say that he's a vicar of Christ.
Yes.
I think he really lived to this mission to give us a vicar of Christ.
Yeah.
So now he has give us the voice. I think now we in return have to be the voice that we have inherited from him, from Christ, be the voice to the world.
Yes, I think that is the word.
Should not allow this voice just because he has passed, have gone. Then we are the voice now. I think all of us have to continue to live up, be the voice of Christ.
I think probably when you are a leader of a church and having risen from the ranks in leadership,
yes,
until you become a pope, you would have had assimilated within you all those teachings and the readings and the reflections that you had inside you. So that is why when you see him verging here, he is guided by the thoughts and by impulses.
Yes.
That his assimilation of all the things that he has been thinking about for the good of the church, for the good of people, and his natural wanting to be of service.
Yes.
I think it's all inside, and he veers from day to day. I mean, he likes children.
Yes.
For example, and definitely he wants to to see them when they come.
Yeah.
He has a lot of reverence for the Virgin Mary, and so therefore he is happy to see mothers. So he wants to be with them, and I see this happening in this trip to Indonesia. I think
Yeah.
meet a lot of mothers, and
Yes,
I think that was
Yeah.
something coming out almost involuntarily because of what is internalized in him.
Yes. Yeah. Your Grace, all this while you see the Pope, does he express, like sometimes some people, they have to think something, but him is very natural, is it? It's like when you talk to the people, is it natural? Like Pope, you
For him, it's very natural.
Natural, huh?
Natural.
So you met as if I'm talking to you like that.
Pope Francis, you see, he has a very happy face.
Oh, it's a smiley face, yeah.
And he is, I don't know whether he's on the lookout for a smile, for humor to come out.
Oh, I see.
But he seems to have that knack of wanting to see the happy side of things.
Oh, I see. Well, he wants the people to be happy also.
He wants the people to be happy, of course. I mean, that is why he is not in favor of having wars, having famine and afflictions around the world.
Yes, that's true.
I think he is very natural.
Natural,
Whatever he does, he give me the impression that it's very natural. He's doing it. Even the things that he speaks. Sometimes, even though people may misunderstand him, I think he is very natural. Also, constantly have this guided by the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Another thing that he is inspiring me. When he had traveled, especially to abroad, he always visit Mother Mary. Visit the Basilica of Mary Major. And after returning, he would make a point. That's why his devotion, as Tansi has said, his devotion to Mary really also somehow that kind of connection.
Yeah, that's good. Talking about Mary Majore, I was studying there because my university is just Angelicum. I always once day pray there because that time they said Saint Ignatius Loyola used to go there to visit there when he was studying. So it was a gift for the Pope to be buried there in Maria Maggiore. Yeah, that's
when he was first sort of announced that he wants to break away from the norm of being buried
in Vatican,
in the Vatican,
yeah,
that he was going to go out. I was thinking that was going to be Saint John Lutheran.
Lateran, yeah.
John Lateran, right?
John Lateran, yeah.
Because that is a Rome punya
Basilica, yeah.
Bishop Basilica.
Yeah.
So because he's a bishop of Rome,
Yes.
right? But it didn't happen. And then when they picked, he picked this one. Then it dovetail with what is what that we see that he's got a devotion to the Blessed Virgin.
Yes.
And he wants to be there and he likes it. Of course, it's a very good basilica, yeah.
Very good, yeah. Been there a few times, yeah. It's Saint John Lateran, yeah, Lateran.
Saint John Lateran.
Yeah, Lateran they call it, yeah. This is Pope's diocese.
Yeah.
Well, a very good conversation, and I think a lot of things that
Berapa harga tiket pergi Rome? Saya pun sudah tahu sudah lama tu lah.
Mau tanya agent-agent yang pergi sana, yang pilgrimage ya, yang. Okay, I was okay. Johannes, Jimmy, thank you, awesome, and congratulations. A great step forward for another channel of our greater Reverie of Church social communication platform. Yeah, continue to support. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because Tan Sri and also Your Grace, this is for the first time we create a history today because this is our Archdiocese studio, and from this studio we will broadcast a lot of things about our Catholic faith. So at this moment we have Rosary going on, 3 languages every day, and also we have what we call that Bible marathon. So that from this studio we'll be broadcasting in a lot of things. So we are making history today because this is for the first time we use this room. I really thank the Archbishop for allowing us to have this studio built here. We were thinking name it studio name of one of the name of the Sen, but it's I think already Sena.
Yes, it's already programmed. It's a
Color Equities. Color Equities, yeah. It's a young man. It's a
I think this is a very good. It's a very good opportunity for the church to be able to use this.
Yes.
For dissemination of knowledge of the ongoings in the Archdiocese, you know, and be able to see the life of Catholics in this part of the world. But of course, I certainly would like to see a lot more, also a lot of emphasis on education.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yes.
Because you realize the church got into the shores of Borneo, to bring in the Word of God and to bring the light here. And we started with education.
That's true.
That's how it is, because you cannot evangelize without people understanding you.
Yes.
You know, so it has grown this way now. So of course that's the way forward. So hopefully this area, and I'm saying this because I'm looking at Montfort Youth Training Center, which I've been a chairman for the last 25 years, and I would like to see more and more people taking full advantage use of the facilities that we have in there.
Yes.
So this is probably a very good way to come out progress for this.
It's a good platform for all this.
Platform for all this.
Yes, because when I was many years ago when I was in Lahadatul, Sindomnik Lahadatul, I was the first local priest to be transferred there. All the while orang putih lah, missionary. And one Muslim university student came to see me, and he said he was so impressed, so touched by the way the missionary did. They never built the church before. They built schools, then also orphanage and hospital. Yeah, yes. They build. They never built church. But through the examples, they come to know and they learn, then they become Christian. That's what you say just now, education. Oh wow, Blessed Carlos already pronounced a saint. Supposed to be 21st, but Pope died during 21st. Huh? So I think the new Pope will canonize him as a saint soon. Yeah. Now talking about the new Pope, now we go forward, go to Pope, what do you call that?
Pope Leo the 14th.
The 14th, yeah. Robert Pravos, his name before. He's a Chicago man, but he lived more than 2 decades in Peru. So he never claimed that he was, from US, when he was interviewed. And he said, I'm more spiritual servant of humanity, no more boundary. So that is what is I heard from this interview lah. So, Your Grace, what is your impression of our new Pope?
Of course. So first of all, I thank the Lord giving us so fast in the sense of to have a new Pope that have taken the name Pope Leo the 14th.
Yes.
I think. Personally, I think nobody would like to have this position, this office.
Sure.
But I also thank him to have courageous enough to accept, to say yes, and then presented himself to the world. And I can only say that we should constantly uphold him in our prayer.
Yes.
Pray for him, pray for the whole Catholic Church, so that he will continue to what in the sense that the late Pope Francis has laid out, he can continue to be the voice to the world.
Yeah, I think he will continue because continue what Pope Francis did. What he mentioned during his first mass, he want the listening church and inclusive church. And Pope Leo the 14th is quite progressive, but conservative. It is doctrinal. So that is that him that we will follow. So Tan Sri, how do you find him this? How many days? Baru berapa hari? 2 weeks.
I see the change quite I think quite significant to the Catholic Church, because he is from an English-speaking background,
Yes.
a community.
America.
The first
American.
American, of course, he's also a citizen of Peru, and that means that he understands both being an English speaker, an Italian speaker, and a Spanish speaker.
Yes.
And so I would tend to see that there'll be a lot more people from the English-speaking world looking at what he's trying to do. But I also see him as someone who will continue in the footsteps of
Pope Francis.
Pope Francis.
Yes.
And in fact, he has said so.
Yes.
But I do see that he would like to do it on his own pace and in his own own way of doing it, right?
Yes.
Because he came out, he doesn't come out with the just the white cassock that Pope Francis did. He actually used the regalia that is
Follow that tradition.
tradition.
Yeah,
So
tradition.
he has that some traditionalist.
Yes.
And I like a bit of that because you see, I like to I mean the Tridentine Mass has been the poster boy, so to say, of the conservative group. Yeah, and then but I like to listen to the Tridentine, take part, and I think things like that. So he has appreciation for this, and not altogether totally taking away everything that is that is pre-Vatican Council, and moving on. But I think he does realize that he's got to move forward.
Yes.
Move forward. And he is an English speaker,
Yes.
native speaker English, and maybe this attract a different type of attention.
Yes.
Or will the Catholicism.
You know, I heard from the relevant radio, one of the application in handphone. You know, the people in US and even all over the world, now they really understand what the Pope says, because as if they are talking to us through the ears, because of the language barriers being demolished. So they really understand firsthand that when he speaks English. And another thing, he speaks 8 languages according to the news, 8 languages, and it's a really it's a gift for us. At the same time, also it's a challenge for us to pray for him. He really need prayers, especially like being an American, you know, all the politics and all this, but he managed to, you know, to overcome it. That what he says, I'm spiritual servant for humanity, no boundaries. That is what he says. Really touched me. Yeah.
Very interesting to see
Yeah.
how the future interaction
Yes.
with him and the American president.
Yes.
Because although the pleasantries have been said, but politics in the US is very transactional.
Yes.
Your relationship are based on on wins and losses and all this. You see how they're going around the world now, looking at this thing. What is it? What is it good for America and all this? So he is going to have a little tasty time, I think, perhaps in the future. To look at this.
Yes. Now, a lot of in the media, in the TikTok, you listen all this, you know. But take some good of it, lah. Yeah. So, Bishop, how do you think about our future church with this leadership?
Of course, I think a lot of people, all eyes are on him now.
Yes,
since
now,
he's
yes,
our new Pope.
You know what I'm waiting is new encyclical document from him. Hopefully, come out before end of this year.
Of course, I may not be so. It depends on. That's why I think the only thing that now we can only join with him, and then especially join him in prayer.
Yes, I think
pray for him.
That's a good point.
And also,
I don't think there would be too many surprises because He's on record to say that he subscribes to a lot of the things that were started by Pope Francis and they move on. That's why I said earlier on, the train has left the station. So we are moving along that.
Yes.
So whatever he's going to do, I think is probably strengthen part of it that were not well covered before.
Yes.
And see what else the further changes in the world. Now you're going to AI and all this.
Yes.
How do we look at this? So the future of the challenges for him is technology. I think will come in a lot.
That's what he mentioned in his first speech. About this journalist. But AI.
Oh, I did.
That is the main thing he's talking about now, because the challenge of now in the world is AI. Yeah, but he did some documentation, and even I do a lot of research about him. I was so impressed that he was so down to earth, and he also mentioned about I will continue the legacy of Pope Francis. He mentioned about ecology, he mentioned about synodality, he mentioned about listening church, and he talk about the church that go out. He will continue. So that is, for me, is something, there's a continuation from Pope Francis to him. Yeah.
So maybe it might go beyond just pure encyclicals.
Yeah.
It may even look at the version of mini Vatican councils in the future to address the world, the problems that the world has today. There's so many of these happenings that are besetting the world. So he may want to look further into this.
But we thank God, be proud to be Catholic. For me, I always tell the youth, I said, be 100% Catholic, be 100% Catholic. You know why? Because when the conclave, the whole world, regardless your religion, they all eye on Vatican, the chimney there. So that's why now we have a Pope, Abimus Papam. We have a Pope now. So our duty as a Christian is to pray for our leaders. That's why, like now in the Mass, sometimes I still mention about Pope Francis, but I choose off because so used to Pope Francis now, Leo the 14th. What about you, Bishop? You also tersasul sometimes?
Of course, have to get used to it.
Yeah, get to use it. Yeah.
Of course, when the time that we have no Pope, then we have to skip. Now we have to come back, and then we have a new Pope, the Pope Leo the 14th.
But that was a very short time without
yes.
the vacuum was
short time.
Was quite a short time.
That's why the tongue can still talking, praying for Pope Francis. Yeah, I think it's in heaven lah. I mean, do you think it's in heaven already lah? It's a sense subito, like Pope John Paul. Okay, so we come to the end of our session today. It's very interesting. From the day, Adam, Gana Jim, thank you, Abimus Papam. We have a Pope. Now we have a Pope that is, we need a lot of prayers from all over the world, Christian. Is there any question from the public, from the parishioners? Yeah. Yes, Simai, Kota Kinabalu, proud to be Catholic. Yeah, thumbs up to our Archbishop and Monsignor and Datuk Tan Sri. Yeah, also before we end, I just like to thank our two guests of honor in the person of Archbishop John Wong, and also Tan Sri Bondadompok were with us. And this is not the first time. I will meet again at the time. Maybe we just, talking.
So thank you for having us in this program.
Oh yes. We will continue to have this kind of program, forum like this, santai-santai, kupi-kupi with us here in Archdiocese studio. And also, I would like to thank Catholic Sabah for organizing this forum, so-called forum with Tan Sri Bondadompok. He was ambassador before for Malaysia, and also thank Studio Teddy Forte for organizing, for arranging all these technical things inside this studio.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for making me part of this inaugural broadcast.
Yes, yeah. Bishop, anything you want to say to the people?
Of course, the previous Pope Francis was just before he passed away, we have 2 years of synod. That synod emphasizing of synodality, working together, journey together. So my prayer and my hope that all of us will always journey together, never journey alone, working together so that to continue the legacy together with the present Pope to continue to build up the kingdom of God.
Yeah, thank you. So once again, terima kasih Ketua dan Ponsiko bagi kamu yang mendengar perbualan kami tadi, dan semoga perjalanan kita dalam hidup berjalan dengan baik. And thank you for participating in this program and hope to see you again. God bless you and see you again. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pulang